and welcome back to Priyascorner. Today I have with me a very special guest. Joining me is Rasheed Kidwai. He's a political historian, someone who's written many political biographies, but also someone who began as a beat reporter. I remember that because I was also there that time. We used to be there at the Congress office, 24 Akbar Road, when it was in the good old days when Netas had time to meet and talk. We were both print journalists. We started out life then. When people, times were different then, not this cut and thrust of this hit and run journalism that is there today. So today, welcome to Priya's Corner, Rashid. Good to have you on the show.
Thank you, Priya. Thank you.
Also, Rashid, I just wanted to, talk to you today a little bit about, reporting, how times have changed from the days we were to the now. But before that, I wanted to, get a view because you have also followed opposition politics very strongly. This new alliance that has come out, India. Now, I was watching the no confidence debate in Parliament, and there the BJP made a big deal about the fact that the regional parties हैं, they all have a history with the Congress, and they're competing with the Congress. So then, yeah, alliance sounds very good on paper. They've got a very good name, but how does it translate on the ground?
Yeah, so I think Priya, thank you very much for your, the good part, me being historian, etc. I think it's,
That's true.
it's a bit, exaggerated in a way. But coming to your point about the opposition unity, you see, opposition unity is very frail. It is also very, it's a misnomer in itself because here is a group of, regional parties plus the Congress who are actually competing with one another. But that's where I differ with the BJP. That okay, everybody has a past. If you go on the, look at the BJP had, so much of problem with so many political parties, and they are also, aligned with various political parties and various shades of opinion, etc. So this is politics is art of the possible. There is a doctrine of necessity that works. So somebody who's been, you look at, the Congress DMK alliance.
I wanted to
Today,
take each alliance in terms of relationships and anecdotes between the leaders.
precisely. So let's talk about DMK first. So the Congress and DMK had very checkered history. In 1967, the DMK government was dismissed, and the DMK turned against the Congress, and there were a lot of bitterness between the two. And when this after Rajiv Gandhi assassination, when the Jain Commission report came, I think Nishikant Dubey was referring to it, and then the DMK government was after Rajiv assassination was dismissed, and support to IK Gujarat government was withdrawn because of presence of two DMK ministers.
Right.
And the same DMK became a Congress ally, and today it is the most trusted ally. If you look at the Bharat Jodo Yatra, it started from Kanyakumari, and DMK Chief Minister MK Stalin was personally present there. And Karunanidhi used to mock, and he would attack not only Indira Gandhi but Sonia Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, and in 2004 he became the most trusted ally of the of the Congress and UPA and Sonia Gandhi.
How did that happen? How did that ice break?
So I think it is to do with that this thing. Sonia Gandhi is a first class graduate, the University of Life. She
Nice one.
understands what people want, and so she reached out. You see, the DMK and the regional ally, they have a lot of ego, very fragile ego. They don't like Delhi. They don't like the big people. So she would go in, and she used a lot of people behind the scene. Like there's a fellow called Barnala, who was who was from actually Akali Dal, but a moderate one, and he was a governor of Tamil Nadu. So many times she would use him as a kind of intermediary, as a go-to person. Harkishan Singh Surjit. Surjit had very good ties with the DMK. So that she used a lot of things, and she became very attentive. We know that when Kannadi speaks, if it's on television, you need to run subtitles. But Sonia Gandhi was very attentive, could understand whatever he was saying in a mix of Tamil and English, and she would respond to him. She was always there to see him off, receive. These are the small courtesies. Yeah, matters a lot.
She's
If
standing
there
at the
in
patio.
the portico,
I
so
remember those shots.
it
Yeah.
matters a lot. So people feel very important. Like Rajiv Gandhi used to go and drive to Poise Garden, which was Jayalalitha's residence. So as a prime minister, he would not expect Jayalalitha to come to Raj Bhavan. And Sonia had this problem with Jayalalitha, that they have the problem that if the famous the tea party that Subramanian Swamy had organized. So Sonia Gandhi would not go to Tamil Nadu house. Jayalalitha would not come to Tenjanpat. This was Swamy's idea. So they had a tea party where at Ashoka Hotel, and that's how that led to the downfall of
Vajpayee
government. So these are the things that happen behind the scene. A lot of things happen.
And maybe between DMK and Sonia, there was that little distrust of Jayalalitha. say
There is
that they
always
had in
Jayalalitha
common?
always played a thing, and Sonia Gandhi played musical chair. So one election she was with Jayalalitha, other time she would get with the DMK. So she had a very practical approach towards. So all the Rajiv Gandhi assassination story, LTT,
Mm.
Jain Commission, you may mock her, you may find her this kind of all the real politic kind of thing, but she's very pragmatic, and that's how she won over. Similarly, Priya, I'll tell you about the RJD. You see, Mr.
Lalu.
Lalu, a lot of people think again one of the strongest allies of Sonia Gandhi, and
Yes.
recently when they met in Patna, he described Rahul Gandhi. There was a loaded comment as coming from Lalu. He said कि आप दूल्हा बनिए. So it had a double edge. One was
One
to prompting him to get married. Other was to become the leader of the what we call it as the
face of
India
the
alliance.
alliance. और
But
घर के elder का role play करते हैं.
precisely. But this elder, you see what happened when this there was some kind of khatpat was going on in the 90s. Mr. Lalu Yadav went to town. I mean it was I think 98 or 99 election describing Sonia Gandhi as Vilaiti Murgi, which was very wrong, and I would say
I didn't
politically
remember that.
incorrect and insensitive remark. But then again, Sonia would not stand on prestige. Look at Rahul Gandhi. He goes there and Champaran mutton is cooked. I don't know what is so special about Champaran mutton. Have you had Champaran mutton?
No, but that's cooked for him by Lalu.
That was cooked for by Lalu and
वो खुद
eaten by
cook
Rahul.
करते हैं
Yeah,
यहाँ
yeah,
also
yeah.
राबड़ी and
I'm sure that
राबड़ी
you
दही.
must have used some butter in it and all and put a lot of mirchis because
It worked.
it works. I mean, I can't imagine Lalu Yadav. Lalu Yadav's been vegetarian, and when he became ill, he gave up eating non-vegetarian. Now he's back as non-vegetarian. So I think Sonia Gandhi has negotiated all of it. Priya, if you allow me, I'll tell you very quickly. Once she had a lot of problem with Mulayam Singh Yadav. So once there was a dinner and Sonia Gandhi was eating hilsa fish. As you've eaten hilsa, it has a lot of
Thorns.
bones. Yeah, thorns.
Bones.
I mean, we both worked in a Bengali publication, and there are people who resent कि आप ये कांटा क्यों बोलते हो, आप इसको हड्डी बोला करो.
अच्छा.
मछली की हड्डी होती है, वो कांटा नहीं होता.
Okay.
So sorry for correcting me on
Okay.
that. So Sonia Gandhi was eating. So Mulayam Singh Yadav, I remember he asked her कि सोनिया जी संभल के ये कांटे हैं इसमें, चुभ जाएंगे. तो सोनिया ने कहा कि मुझे जो है वो कांटों से जूझना आता है.
अच्छा, very loaded.
Very loaded.
And well done for her.
So Mulayam got this message. So I think she's very practical. It's unfortunate that we do not know so much about her, but she is a very lively person and somebody who has understood politics and come to politics. So that's why I say that she's a first class graduate from University of Life.
No, in fact, I think that's a very good description of Sonia Gandhi. But before we go on to Sharad Pawar, I want to talk about Amar Singh. Amar Singh plays a big role in the Mulayam Singh equation also. और जब पहली बार UPA form हुई थी, then Amar Singh, she didn't need the Samajwadi, and as Rasheed said, she was uncomfortable with Samajwadi Party. So I also remember the dinner that she threw for UPA people in 2004. Amar Singh was not invited. He gate crashed with Harshan Singh Surjeet and was given the cold shoulder. But over the years, he became the guy who saved the UPA government. So
yes, I think Amar Singh's story, I must compliment you for rekindling all this imagery. Over a long time, Priya, people would say every time there was an uninvited guest, usse dekhiye Amar Singh aaye hain. So in that Delhi, cocktail circle and all, it became things. Amar Singh.
Mulayam Singh, Amar Singh ki ladai?
Yes.
Not Mulayam, sorry, Mani Shankar.
Mani Shankar.
He will kill me for
They
this
kicked,
one.
yeah, they kicked each other. I mean, I can tell you about Amar Singh, Amitabh Bachchan also. अमर सिंह की बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग कहानी है और अमर सिंह को ये हमेशा शिकायत रही कि उन्होंने तो सोनिया गांधी राहुल गांधी का मतलब भला ही किया जो पूरी सरकार के समय यूपीए का जब आया था जब न्यूक्लियर डील के ऊपर तो अमर सिंह ने बहुत कांग्रेस की मदद करी बट व्हाट डिड राहुल गांधी डू अपेरेंटली ही गेव हिम अ मोबाइल नंबर एंड चेंज हिज मोबाइल नंबर
really?
He changed his mobile number. That one he had given it to Amar Singh. So Amar Singh was very cut up, and he would say कि देखिए ये कोई तरीका होता है मुझे मोबाइल नंबर दिया और मैं उनसे संपर्क नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ. तो Amar Singh was a man who was very passionate. He would he had very strong sense of friendship and मतलब जो होती है ना दोस्ती दुश्मनी दोनों वो बड़े दिल से करते थे.
पर
Congress.
वही अमर सिंह ही थे ना जिनको सोनिया गांधी didn't invite him for a dinner, for
Yes.
the UPA dinner
So
when he gate crashed हरकिशन सिंह
जी,
सुरजीत के
तो
साथ.
मुझे ध्यान है कि वो समय जो था करीब उनके यू सी द समाजवादी पार्टी had 36 MPs and UPA did not need him, but he was invited. I mean, not he, actually, Mulayam Singh was called and Harkishan Singh Surjeet brought Amar Singh with it. तो अमर सिंह को वहाँ सबने मतलब वो कोल्ड शोल्डर कर दिया. He was guest considered as a unwanted guest. In fact, it became a part of Delhi folklore. They would say that if there any time in any gathering someone uninvited came, they say Amar Singh आए हैं. So just to introduce an uninvited guest, Amar Singh thing was Amar Singh's name was used, and Amar Singh had a lot of problems with the Gandhis. So people actually thought that Amar Singh is responsible for creating rift between Gandhis and Amitabh Bachchan and his family. All kind of things. Once I was there, then Amar Singh fell out with Amitabh Bachchan family also. Amitabh Bachchan and his family. I remember once I was there at Bahari Sons, that famous bookshop in Khan Market. Somebody brought a coffee table book to on Amitabh Bachchan, a pictorial kind of book on Amitabh Bachchan, and gave it to Amar Singh. Ki sab ye kharid lijiye. And I remember Amar Singh got so angry, he actually threw that book. He said, "देखिए आपने इनकी शराफत देखी?" He turned to me and he said, "Look at this, that cheek." But he said it in Hindustani language. He saying कि आपने इनकी शराफत देखी, which he was referring to as a sign of crookedness. So Amar Singh actually never got along because there is a history, Priya. We must remember, and that's where it matters to be, a journalist for long standing. Amar Singh was in Congress. Amar Singh was tried to get Congress ticket. He was considered as Mother of Scindia lackey. And when he became big in Samajwadi Party, Congress and Sonia and all, they did not treat him as equal. So he always had that kind of problem. Person like Rajiv Shukla, who came later but climbed up very quickly. But Amar Singh was considered as Amar Singh, uninvited. So that poor fellow, he had to live with that legacy. There was a very unfortunate incident had taken place in Delhi, one of those parties where Amar Singh was there, and there was some argument broke out between him and Manishankar Iyer. Now we know what Manishankar Iyer is, and Manishankar Iyer said something to him, and Amar Singh said some. So वो जैसे होता है ना, someone intervened. So जो जबानी लड़ाई चल रही थी, वो it became physical.
So they actually had fisticuffs. I
Had
remember
physical. And apparently Manishankar Iyer,
Oxford graduate, Cambridge
graduate,
getting
he
into
tried to
akhada
kind of
politics.
kick him, and Amar Singh got back. So a Rajput and a Tam Brahmin,
Thakur
it was quite a sight. I would say ugly side. No one intervened. Priya, this is also a thing.
अच्छा.
हाँ, जैसे मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना कि दो लोगों में मतलब झगड़ा चल रहा था, तो फिर जब किसी ने बीच बचाव किया तो मारपीट हो गई. So ये जो बीच बचाव
And this is like a very Tony party in Little Delhi.
Precisely.
Yeah, this is
So
what-
ये बीच बचाव के बाद जो मारपीट होती है, this is also a very integral feature of Delhi.
Sometimes it is verbal marpit, but this was actually physical one. But after Amar Singh, I want to discuss now NCP, Sharad Pawar and Sonia Gandhi का equation. बहुत नाजुक है because Sharad Pawar wanted to be prime minister. He blames Sonia and Indira Gandhi, and for keeping him out, cutting short his political trajectory. और अब वो, I don't know who's supporting whom.
Yeah, so I think we must remember about Sonia Gandhi that she always has a sense of history. She knows the context. So Mr. Sharad Pawar has a very checkered history of betraying and the Congress at times when they were required. Way back in 1978, Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, a lot of incidents and episodes are there. So she exactly knew, and so is Sharad Pawar. He's always, like I told you in your shows, that somebody asked him 2 and 2, so he said depends whether you're buying or selling.
That's
So,
what I asked him.
So this whole story. So what happened when this in '98 when there was this Vajpayee government fell? Actually, Sharad Pawar was leader of opposition, and he collected letter in the name of Sonia Gandhi that she would become president as a prime minister of an alternative government. And I remember he had called us. We had gone to Baramati, and that's where he showed us, and he said he started this vineyard, etc. The Italian he was exporting his grapes too. They're known as Sharad seedless. Okay, the seedless
Variety of the grapes.
grapes. Yes, I must clarify that. So he said I started doing business with Italy much before Sonia Gandhi came in. That's just before 1968. So but what happened? A lot of praise for Sonia Gandhi, and when he returned to Delhi, he kind of raised the issue of foreign origin. People say that he wanted to become a second Lokmanya Tilak of Maharashtra. and he had a secretary, Chandra Iyengar, who supposedly had influenced him. So he took that decision, and they fell out. After 6 months, there was elections in Maharashtra, and the Congress and the newly formed party NCP, the numbers were such that they had to come together. Again, pragmatic Sonia Gandhi. She did not stand on prestige. The two sides came together. Like I was telling you about DMK, like I was telling you about Mulayam, Lalu. She knows how to win over, her sort of opponents. I won't say enemy. And Sharad Pawar is that. So Sharad Pawar and Sonia and Congress have an entire history of check and mate. मतलब इनका शाय मात का खेल चलता रहता है. This is not history of equals. Now, you had asked me. I remember you were asking me about India alliance and its.
Yeah, how it's going to translate on ground, because each regional party has a history with
Precisely. So I
Congress.
think Priya, a lot of the political commentators as well as the opponents, the NDA, the BJP are misreading the India alliance. They are underestimating. And let me explain to you in a minute how. See, the India got independence. First elections were held in 1951. So Congress was a natural. Congress won 3/4 of majority in 1952, 57, 62 election. The opposition to Congress came from, of course, from the Hindu right, but more so from the communist and the socialists. So they are the ones who, and a lot of this thing names I can tell you, Charan Singh, etc., who turned against the Congress. So in the first 2-3 decades, the opposition to Congress was from left and socialists. समाजवादियों की तरफ से ही सारा वो था. And they weakened Congress. In 1967, there were 9 governments. 7 governments were there, the non-Congress. Most of them were socialist background. The Jansangh played a role, but Jansangh was a minor player. What I'm saying is, cut back to 2023. Okay, now see, all the socialists, most socialists and the communists are with the Congress. This is Priya at the ground level. Don't go by these numbers. Don't go by this parliament. See, in India, everyone has a vote. Now, if the socialists and the leftists come together, because जो गरीब और जो वो हैं, जो इनके पास घर नहीं है, जिनके पास ज़मीन नहीं है, जो daily wage earners, they are in big numbers, and most of them, per force or choice, have the socialist communist leanings. If they come together, mind you, the BJP is in trouble.
But isn't the BJP doing the same thing with their free ration subsidies? कहते तो हैं we are not, but actually they are more socialist than even some of the left in their policy.
Yes. So there is a lot of. You are absolutely right, and Prime Minister has gone on record to say कि ये रेवड़ी का जो ये कारोबार है बंद होना चाहिए, रेवड़ी बांटने का.
करते तो वही हैं.
कर बहुत ज़्यादा. So there is a lot of a kind of cynical welfareism that is at play. But what I'm saying is, it's always has there is a lot of diminishing returns that sets in. You look at Mr. Modi's pronouncements also, and I'm speaking from a neutral position. Mr. Modi's been talking about recycling the old thing, about dynasty, about corruption. People are going to ask 10 years, why is Robert Vadra, for instance, if Robert Vadra is indeed corrupt, we do not know. Why is he out? Bail is not a punishment. So point is conviction. And what about all the fugitives? See, 9 of them, 23 of them, I can go on saying economic offenders. So, and you look at dynasty. Aji, what is Ajit Pawar's claim to fame? Priya, yesterday you look at the speakers. Most speakers who spoke yesterday were all dynasts. And today also we'll see this dynast. So dynasts are a reality. What has Mr. Modi done? So these are the questions that people are going to ask.
That's true.
So I am saying, as Sitaram Kesi used to say, Paliram chauka dene wale honge.
Meaning?
It will be very unexpected result.
The results will be chokane wale, yeah. Well, I hope they don't get the same shock as Kesari got in the end. But before I let you go, Rasheed, little bit about reporting. I began by talking about the old days when we were actually doing on-ground reporting and going and meeting politicians. Aajkal ka, it's becoming, everything is instant, everything is 2 minutes, which is why I'm going to keep this podcast going for another 10 minutes, because you don't get the whole sense of the person and the issue. But aajkal time hi nahi hai logon ke liye.
Time nahi hai, or you see, technology has become a very big challenge. Now, see, like me and you, we have spent so much time with many political stalwarts, and they would tell us whether it was Ambika Soni or Jairam Ramesh or Prithviraj Chauhan, and I can go on naming the kind of sources we had. They would tell a lot of fabulous stories of what was going on, for instance, during the UPA years and earlier times, or even Bajpayee's time, Pramod Mahajan, Arun Jaitley, so many names we can say unfortunately they are no longer in this world, and they would tell a lot of stories. But there was no mobile phone. There was people were not recording and sending it to the the to the, so to say, the other party or their opponents or
Yeah.
something like
So
that.
एक
Not
डर
like
भी होता है बात
एक
करने का.
डर है फिर
You know,
numbers.
today a lot of ministers you meet, they will say leave your mobile phone out. A lot of BJP people, especially, they don't meet you with the mobile phone.
Precisely. So I'm saying technology has become a threat. And second thing is numbers. Priya, at a time when I started, see the number of special correspondents in a newspaper you could count on fingertips. There was no TV. There was no online, digital
Correct.
platform. Today, if you go by this designation of, political editors, bureau chiefs, and special correspondents, those who cover politics would exceed in actually in, they would be in few thousands. Now imagine you can't be doing off the record conversation with 300 phone. Like me and you, we have spent a lot of this Kisan lunch and various lunch that are there. Particularly in the winter time and all. Politicians are very generous and they are hospitable also. So, but the thing you don't get the flavor of it because
today all the lunches में सब selfies लेने में लगे होते हैं. We don't have that time to sit even and talk to the politician.
I wouldn't
पुराने
have a
ज़माने में,
picture with the. You'll be surprised. I don't have a picture with the politician. I mean, by chance there was somebody. I was there in Assam, so Sonia Gandhi was walking, and so was I. So someone clicked that, and it came in newspaper. So I couldn't help it. So that's the only picture I have of a
But you
with a
don't do
politician.
selfies. You haven't fallen.
No. I never do that. I think I still feel that the journalists must maintain their kind of neutrality and individuality. So a lot of technology plus you see the numbers that kind of of course it become very dynamic and very vibrant. So there are just too many people are there. And Priya, one more thing, last thing I want to make up. See, the journalists are coming from very diverse background. So their social, political, economic, and I would say ethical understanding is very, very diverse. I don't want to be critical, but you understand what I'm saying by diversity. So many of them, there is the PLU factor is missing. So they're no longer people like us who are kind of try to be detached. It's of course all very subjective. Try to be a bit ethical. Try to be probity conscious and try not to seek favors from politicians.
Yeah, I think part of the problem with that is also, Rashid, that as you said, there are so many now journalists and everybody has a camera. Sometimes that is used for good, sometimes that is used for blackmail, sometimes that is used to just promote someone for propaganda. So that editorial line that was there, जो लक्ष्मण रेखा थी, वो अब missing हो गई है.
बिल्कुल. And unlike other professions, if you go look at the medicine or services or engineering or any or law also, see there is a gatekeeper, there is an entrance examination.
Yes.
So people get filtered by that, and there are of course interviews and a lot of other things. In our profession, Priya, it's free for all. There is no entry. And second thing, there is no training. There is no mid-level, mid-career kind of profession. The professional improvement. Drive. There are no courses are there.
Yeah.
Okay, leadership courses are not there. People are not. I mean, some people get like you've been on scholarships, etc. But that's like not even 1 in 10. And these scholarships are given by the British Council and some other, and the competition is very stiff. But I'm saying institutions are not investing money in that. They are making money, but they're not putting. So there is no R&D.
And also no specialization. Journalism, at least for a doctor, you have to take that entrance course. For a MBA, you have to take for a businessman. For journalism, I will report on a business story one day, and I will report on a political story second day, and I report on a medical crisis third day. If I want to,
yes,
I'm allowed. So I think that's why I think one should do it. So long as then you get the expert and let the expert speak, and don't become the expert yourself. उसमें problem होती है.
Yes. I think a lot of people say that the news is dead. But I see that I say that with confidence that actually the corpse is quite it's very alive and kicking. It's just that the methods are changed. You have a podcast like what we are doing. The written word has its own limitations. So we must integrate with technology. That requires training. That requires investment. That requires reorientation. Like politicians, the journalists are also become allergic to change. They must change with times and adopt, integrate technology the way Priya Sehgal has done.
And thank you for helping me do it. So we hope to do more conversations like this in the future. But Rasheed Kidwai, always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for coming on our podcast, and thank you all for listening to this. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did, because with Rasheed, there's always that behind the scene anecdote that gets you going.